Welcome back, and joining me for the day's markets action is Wayne McCurrie from FNB Wealth and Investments. Thank you so much for your time, Wayne. The markets, the color of the bank that you work for today, green.
Yes, it's all very green today. Strong rebound.
Yeah, after seeming undecided yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I mean, it was all the mining shares. The mining shares just got too clobbered on the back of that book building by Anglos with Anglo Plats, and it was just sort of surrounded by negativity because of that very low price that those shares were sold at. And today, strong rebound because interest rate cuts are coming, and these mining shares are just too cheap at these levels. That's why the whole mining share is up 4%. There's obviously some individual stories here that pushed up the mining shares, but we can chat about the individual companies later.
Well, I mean, actually, let's go into those individual companies, because you had Sibanye coming out with interim results today. And of course, they had a loss of more than 7 billion rand. We know the story with the declines in the revenue because of the PGM price cycle at the moment. But even with all of that, the markets there came in with the share price surging about 10% the last time I checked. What exactly gave investors confidence here?
Well, look, I mean, just a couple of comments on that. Understand these write-offs is because the price of platinum, the PGMs, has gone down. So therefore, the net present value, what your company is worth, what the assets are worth, are significantly less, because at current prices, they can't produce profits.
Yeah.
So when you look at the profits, I mean, they had a big write-off, but they barely broke even, excluding the write-off. But this is not unusual. All of the mining, the platinum companies have shown a massive reduction in earnings. And Sibanye is one of the, I suppose, it got of the lowest quality grades in South Africa. I mean, they bought all the mines that no one else wanted. They bought them at the right time, and they had a lovely upcycle for a few years. But a company like Sibanye, that's relatively marginal, will have a very poor downside, which is what they're doing now. But the main reason why the share price is up is they're just cutting back on production. And all the platinum miners will do it because you're not making money on your, in certain parts of your mine that aren't as profitable as other ones. So you just stop mining. And they're doing that in the US operations, and all the miners are doing it in the SA operations. And that's what actually pushed the share up. But I mean, Amplats and all the, Impala is not too far behind 9%. They're all at 5-6%. So it's really just a big increase in the value of specifically the platinum shares today after the pounding they took yesterday.
All right. Well, Wayne, let's go into banking. Of course, the parent company of FNB, FirstRand, coming out with year-end results today, talking about a year of two halves, strong operational performance, even with the absorption there of a provision raised for a UK motor commission matter. Investors didn't really react much to today's numbers. What can we take out of that, Wayne?
Well, look, this whole UK thing is still a provision. I mean, there's this massive investigation into how they sold and going back over many, many years. So this is still going to come to fruition, but obviously FirstRand took a provision for this. But the environment's tough out there. Make no mistake about that. We've got high interest rates. Their bad debts ticked up, not by much, but, on such a big balance sheet, even a very small percentage gain in your bad debts, translates to a lot of money. But even though profits were up 4%, dividends up 8% because the company is clearly producing serious amount of excess cash and free cash flows. And the market liked it, and it actually pushed it to a one-year high. It didn't close at the one-year high, but it certainly is up. So the results were quite positively taken by the market.
All right. Wayne, let's get to some of the trading updates that came out as well.
Yes.
Discovery, we did see investors reacting positively to that. I think that share price was up 5% at some point, seeming that they performed quite solidly. Looking at their different divisions, are you looking at a healthy story here?
Yes, it's actually quite a good increase in profitability, and it seems to be across the board. Discovery invested quite well, but it's really across the board. The insure business did very, very well. Discovery Bank losses are smaller as well, not by much, but certainly it looks quite good. I mean, Vitality didn't do all of that well in the UK.
Yeah.
Not down by a huge amount, but certainly it is down. Now, a lot of that obviously then will be for the rand's been stronger against the pound, etc., etc. But certainly the SA operations, Ping An in India did extremely well, quite frankly. But the market quite likes these results. It did push the share price up about 4%. But my comment on Discovery is that it doesn't really generate cash flow, so you don't get a nice dividend out of the company because they keep reinvesting the money. This time, the big reinvestment's been into Discovery Bank, but you would hope at some stage they would just start generating free cash flows and start paying out, dividends to the shareholders. But nevertheless, it's still a very good set of results.
All right. We'll talk about good. Let's get to your stock pick for today, Wayne. What are you choosing?
Man, I'm going to stick to my old favorites. These prices, I just can't resist it. So I think you can have a choice of Sasol or let's go for Anglo American Platinum.
Okay, all right. I knew it
because these shares are just too bombed out. They due for a strong run at some stage.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for your insights on what is moving investors' money today, Wayne. That was Wayne McCurrie from FNB Wealth and Investments.